Welcome to USA TV Talk Live for this day, September 20th, 2011, a rainy fall day in Connecticut. My name is Chris Ponte. My co-host, Angelo Notaro. How you doing, brother? Knuckle it up early?
I am doing great. I am doing awesome. It's been a couple of weeks since we had our last episode, which I think has gone over well. I've had a lot of good feedback about it. We really touched on some awesome things, some things personal, some things worldwide. But like I said, I think me and Mr. Pantene here are a tremendous duo, kind of like in the Batman and Robin role. And I'll play Robin.
And I was very excited that Robin over here got here just a few minutes ago, or else I was going to have to try to carry this thing on my back, for an hour, and that wouldn't have worked. But be it as it may, we're here, and we're going to start off by doing a little old business. From our show 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the Mayweather fight that took place last week or the week before. From a boxing specialist view, how did you see that fight? Was it what you thought?
That fight was basically what I called it, and I had told many friends. What do you, obviously they asked me, being the boxing professional, you can call me that, I guess. But I really thought it was a mismatch. I thought Floyd Mayweather basically is a tremendous piece of work as a fighter, tremendous hand speed, tremendous defense. I think Ortiz basically had a big win against Berto, and like boxing, like anything else, there was hype for the fight, and people actually thought that Floyd Mayweather had a chance of being knocked out and losing this fight. I personally did not think so. I think Floyd Mayweather's ability, God-given ability, what he has, is super, you know what I mean? And he did what he had to do. I mean, obviously there was a lot of speculation. And we're probably going to field a couple of questions later on. We have actually a boxing trainer calling tonight, my personal trainer, but also a little history on him. He's trained Tracy Patterson, a former world champion, a guy that fought Notaro. So he's going to be calling at 7:30, and we're going to be picking his brain and ask Tony what he feels about the fight.
Now, the next step for Mayweather is what?
Mayweather, I guess everyone wants to see him fight Manny Pacquiao, the Pac-Man, the guy from the Philippines, who was a superb fighter, and I give him a lot of credit. Personally, I'm a big fan of his. I could root for him. He's an ambassador to not only boxing, but his country and the people worldwide. He is a real guy. Floyd Mayweather, in the other half, is not. He's very disrespectful. And we'll actually touch on that a little later on when Tony calls, and pick his brain a little bit, like I said, of what is really next.
So this fight is anticipated but has not been set yet? Is that the idea?
No, it hasn't. Money.
Yeah, exactly.
He's demanding $100 million,
Cool. Some of the other things we're going to get into in the course of this hour is the NFL. We're through week 2. The MLB season is winding down. We have the playoffs that are just around the corner. And Connecticut is a big, big college state. A lot of fans of college sports in this state. And something happened very quickly over the weekend. There was an announcement that both Pittsburgh and the University of Syracuse are moving to the ACC, and they expect UConn to do the same, which will further jumble my geographical mind, because now Texas is going to go out and play the Pacific 10 or the Pacific 12, and it seems like the whole country's getting jumbled right now of conferences. I guess there's a difference between the strong basketball schools and the strong football schools. Evidently, college football wags the dog, and now these basketball schools are like, I'm going to take care of myself and get out while the getting's good.
Well, I'm a little hurt by that decision. I mean, most likely not a football decision, a basketball division.
Correct.
Situation. UConn is basically, they're a dominant team here in the state as well as nationwide. I mean, they've won many championships. Jim Calhoun is probably the dean of basketball coaches.
Both men and women.
But
both groups are doing great.
And they've battled Syracuse and they've battled Pitt. Basically for the last forever. You know what I mean? Those are two elite teams of the Big East.
Exactly.
I mean, have basically. Made a lot of pros, out of those colleges,
Absolutely.
So I'm really sad that they did that. The Big East is no longer the Big East; it might be just called the Little East.
And one day, it's almost going to be like they're going to have one big conference, the United States of America, and put 200 teams in it because they have broken down the barriers geographically. Remember 2 years ago when Boston College ended up in the ACC, right? And then Notre Dame and Marquette and Cincinnati, who were Midwestern schools, jumped to the East. It confuses me, but so did geometry, and so I guess I'll have to get used to it. But it's a big business, and these schools are hopping around where they can get the most bang for their buck. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt. If it comes down to the money point of it, it doesn't make sense to the fan, obviously. But financially to a college, maybe they're struggling. I don't know, or maybe monetarily value over a period of years, they'll make a lot more money. That's fine if you're the college. But to the fan, Big East basketball is great. It goes all the way back to the Patrick Ewing era and the Chris Mullin era.
Right.
And eliminate and take some of those teams and put them in another division over money. That's crazy. And personally, I'm a Pitt fan. And I love seeing Pitt play UConn and some of the other colleges, St. John's and Georgetown.
Right.
That's actually a little disheartening that basically a team from the East is going to relocate their business to the South. I guess it's the same thing as business these days, right? People are moving factories down south because it's cheaper and they make more money. So.
Absolutely. So we'll be getting into that. You can call in live, 203-792-4101. The phone is to my right. We will get you on and we'll talk some sports. Like we said, NFL through 2 weeks. Locally, Jets 2-0, Giants 1-1, New England 2-0, and my co-host Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-1. And they rebounded nicely after a Week 1 thrashing to the hands of the Baltimore Ravens.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Those 7 turnovers were a great thing. You know what? They rebounded, key word.
Right.
They didn't beat the elite of the NFL, but they basically came out and opened a can of whip butt on the Seattle Seahawks, 24-0. You expected them to win. It was a good thing. It was a rebound. But the big thing now we heard about recently was last night was the Yankees' Mariano Rivera.
Yes.
And I'm a big Yankee fan, basically becoming the all-time save leader. Okay. I actually added a little joke on Facebook. I said, you know what? He's second in my league. He doesn't have as many saves as Jesus Christ.
Right.
He's billions away. But Absolutely. He's the closest thing to God in New York.
That's because Jesus can get out righties and lefties.
That is correct. That is correct.
Well, looks like we have an early participant into the show. We're very, very excited about that. Let's see if we can punch him up. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good.
Chris, Big Ange here also. Who's this?
Who's this, bro?
How are you, Ange?
Good, man. What do you got on your mind?
It's Pat from Danbury.
Very excited, Pat. You must be thrilled because I know you're a Cowboy fan and you got your first one yesterday. Or Sunday.
Yeah, but we may have lost Romo.
That's right. Not only 2 fractured ribs and a punctured lung.
Nothing new. Only kidding.
But you don't have a Danny White on the sideline, do you, bro? Pat?
I don't think we do anymore.
Exactly. You want to touch a little Dallas? You want to talk some other teams, NFL? What else is spinning in your mind, bro?
Well, Justin wants to know if you think the Jets are going to win the East.
To be honest with you, unless they get their offensive line corrected, I do not see them winning the East. I don't think there is any other team in football that can beat the Patriots except the Jets, but the Jets need to have all their engines going, and they need their right tackle and their center to not only be physically sound, but to play well and play their A game. So unfortunately, my answer is I think the Jets will probably finish with 12 wins and finish second again to New England.
Here's my take. I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Pat.
Hey, Pat. Angelo here. My take is, yes, the New England Patriots, obviously the favorite team in the NFL to take it all home. But what it really comes down to is Mark Sanchez. Can you win important games when it really matters? Yeah, they did do it last year. They had their chances. They obviously went to the championship game. They got beat by a better team. They're my team also. Can they physically impose their will on a team in the fourth quarter? And can Mark Sanchez be, say, the Tom Brady or the Joe Namath and come up big? I personally think, I'm not a huge fan of the Jets. I think they can. I think they have a great defense. They play extremely hard physical football. Their running game is phenomenal. Their passing game is not quite there, but we'll see in December.
I'm a little worried about the running game right now.
There aren't any, you know what is funny? Because people are getting down on Sean Green a little bit. The bottom line is, I don't see any holes.
I agree with that.
You know?
And they lost Mangold for, a couple of weeks with a high
Absolutely.
ankle sprain, so that helps. You know what? But you know what? And as a Steeler fan, you can attest to this. You lose players, you replace players, you win games. It's the NFL. There's 52 players on a team, not 12.
That's true. I mean, the NFL becomes the league of whoever's left standing because there's going to be injuries on all teams.
Absolutely. Pat, thank you for calling.
Thanks, guys. Have a good show.
Okay,
All
bro.
right, Go Cowboys. Maybe not.
Hello, this is Chris. You're on the air.
Just so you know, you might want to, there's no one on the air right now, just so you know. Just listen through your phone, all right?
Hang up on it.
All right, we're good. We're back.
We're back here.
I got you, brother. But anyway, so
We must have lost him.
NFL and MLB, as we said before, things in full swing. This is a great time of the year for sports.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know
Football,
what I'm saying?
beer, wings. Gotta love it.
Absolutely. And we also have some world news going on. I love studying that. And if you wondering what the heck is going on in the world, I spend a lot of my time trying to figure that out for you. And to give you a little bit of an update from where we were 2 weeks ago, Greece and Italy are tinkering on default. So that's something to watch because it seems when Europe shakes, it adversely affects our stock market here in America. So that's something that you all should keep in mind. Also, the jobs bill. How do you feel about what President Obama is proposing? Basically, taking money from the wealthy of this country in an effort to pay for jobs. Now, I personally don't think that's what capitalism is. From what I understand, jobs are created by what? People that invent things, they create a market for things, people buy the product, and then you hire people in the service area, okay? But it looks like we are getting into more of a socialist country where the government will just take from the wealthy and even the middle class to provide jobs. And whether that's bad or good, I don't think it's good, but maybe you have a different idea, and you can call in and we can chat about that situation. And also, the Federal Reserve. It seems like we can't go a week without talking about them, and they're going to be considering a quantitative easing their third, which will devalue our dollar. So now we're looking at whether or not you want to go to the Stop and Shop and pay $8 for carrots. That should make everybody excited, but that's what we're looking at. So it's a nightmare out there, and that's why I dig the sports world, because we can at least relax from all that craziness, right, and move forward and think about more pleasant things, at least for the short term.
Sure, without a doubt. I mean, the stress relief of watching football all day Sunday in your sweatpants and enjoying life for what it is, enjoying your team, rooting for your team, rooting against your team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what football's all about. And the conversation Monday morning at work is a great conversation. You know, the water cooler conversation, and Monday Night Football also. So sports basically, I think someone said it, one of the great presidents we had, unites the world.